Good morning. Okay, are you done already?
All right.
That was good.
Scram.
Thank you.
Scram.
Good morning, everybody. Boogie
Morning,
decided to
everybody.
make an appearance today, but as you can see, he's a very busy guy, and therefore he had to go and take care of
He had
coffee
to go
business.
make sure his bed doesn't fly away while he's gone.
Okay, let's say good morning.
Good morning to Susanna.
I want to give her a huge shout out.
I just messaged you.
I noticed that all week this week, you're the first one to pop in. We're watching. Susanna, Tina, Teresa.
Wow, it's the transformation group up in here.
Yeah.
Josie, Tammy, Tina, Jessica. We got the inner circle up in here. Brittany Burns. We got some Burns owner. Brittany Burns. Get it?
Burns
Brittany
on.
Burns is in Burns.
Brittany Burns on.
We got Shredded Novik. We got Andrea. We got Veronica. Another Andy Rhea. Oh man. Corey's in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dina and Megan and Stacy. Wow, and Erin. Okay, and anybody else, if we did not mention your name. Jay Vaughn, what up, girl? Great to see you here. Cheers. Happy Thursday.
Happy day. Thursday. Okay, amazing. So today's a continuation to a topic that we discussed Thursday before last with regards to the 3 A's that you need to have in order to find success. So does anybody remember what was the first A? Drop it in the comments. However, in the case that you don't remember or you weren't there, we'll do a quick recap. The first A is making sure that you have a good attitude, okay? We took a real deep dive with regards to what a good attitude means. In the case that you didn't get to check out the episode, you can definitely make sure to catch that on our YouTube channel. Okay, so if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to go to YouTube, Erin and Sarit. Give us some love, hit the subscribe button, watch this episode because we really went into a lot of detail. But today we're going to talk about the 2 other A's.
We went so deep that we had intended on talking about all 3 A's and talked about one and decided it's going to be 3 parts.
Amen.
So now. Part 2.
So the second A is, Erin, what do you think it is? Drop it in the ass.
Oh. Apple.
So the second A, right?
I know. Awesome.
Awesome. Okay. True.
Mm-hmm. Be awesome.
Be awesome.
Be more awesome.
I would say that awesome would fall under attitude.
Okay. How about abundance?
Mm-hmm. I would say that that's a pie product when you have all 3. You guys drop it in the comments. Take a guess.
How about... Man, all the words I want to say actually could be things. I'm just trying to be silly. Stop trying.
All right, so here's the thing. There's a few types of people in the world.
I'll tell you what they think. Acknowledge, accept, awareness, or acknowledgement, attainability, acceptance.
So I can see why you guys are saying acceptance, because something that we always say is awareness is step 1 with regards to creating change. However, that is not one of the 3 A's, okay?
You guys are thinking in steps, like what do I need to do? First this thing, then this thing, then this thing. We're talking about what 3 things do you need to be successful. like all-encompassing.
Yeah.
Maybe that will make more
So
sense.
the first one is you need to have a good attitude, right? Because if you don't have a good attitude, you're not going to own your shit. You're going to keep on making excuses. You're going to blame the weather. You're going to blame whatever. You're not going to get to action. And that's the second one, okay? So action.
Action.
So here's the thing with regards for action. There's a few types of people in the world, right? There's those who don't take any action, which are most of the people, right? If you're listening to this, I can only assume that you're not one of them, because otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? So not taking any action, right? Lazy people, right? That's why most lazy people struggle with their weight, because they're not moving enough. They're not taking enough action. They're not going out of their way to plan their meals, right? Not doing means not taking action. And it's not just in the workout department, right? So, you know,
be a doer.
Let's give some examples.
I really like what Corey said, though. She said, awesome coaches.
Aww. So here's the thing, you know, what are some actions that are required of you in order to get ahead? Because I feel like the first thing that anybody would think about is working out. Working out is great, but working out is like, that's actually the tip of the iceberg. That's not the foundation.
But everybody focuses on the tip of the iceberg because that's what you can see. We focus on workout because that's what we can feel. That's what makes us think somehow that we've made some kind of immediate difference. And I would agree with you that most people think about fitness first. And when we talk to anybody who's struggling with their weight, they say what they struggle, like, oh, I just can't stick with a good workout program, or I just can't, I do okay with working out, but you know, I just can't seem to get anywhere. And you know, it could be because of lack of knowledge and understanding that it's not all about the movement of the body, though that's important.
So here are some actions, and here's the thing, the actions are endless. I would say the most important one is educating yourself. So you can make better decisions more consistently, right? So going out of your way to educate yourself, like for example, Exhibit A, you're listening to this right now. You're educating yourself, right? So educating yourself, you know, either creating recipes or looking up recipes, right? Planning your meals, going to the grocery store or hopping on Instacart and ordering your groceries, cooking your meals, right? Preparing your meals, right? Eating your meals, you know, drinking a certain amount of water, right? Making sure that you're getting enough sleep. Yes, sleep is an action. And going to bed at a specific time is an action. It requires effort. Most people don't sleep enough and put an emphasis on staying up too late. That's lack of taking action in the right direction, right? So sleeping, yes, working out is definitely one of them. Working out should be a part of everybody's routine.
Creating routines in general.
Right.
Sometimes
routines.
It's anti-action too.
Right.
Putting the phone down and taking care of you.
Not putting others before you. That's an action, right? Setting up a boundary. That's an action. Blocking somebody because they bring you down. That's an action, right? Like, here's the thing. Like, action is, like, everything under action will actually fall under lifestyle. The way that in which you live your life, right, is determined by the actions that you take every day and the actions that you fail to not take, right? That is your lifestyle. Your actions, or your lack of, therefore, right, determines your lifestyle. So action is super important, right? So now, here's the thing. In order to get better results, do you want to be an average action taker or do you want to be a massive action taker? Drop it in the comments and tell us. Now, I would assume that you guys would say massive, and I would hope so. But now let's define massive action taking versus average action taking. Because some actions, like unplugging from electronic devices at a certain time in the day, meditating, sleeping, those are all actions that bring you down, that don't add stress to you, right? Like, I would put that under massive action, right? So now don't think, the amateur thinks that massive action means working out a lot. That's average thinking. That's thinking on the tip of the iceberg. Massive action, do you know what that means? Massive action means that you're like a hawk with regards to how you structure your day. Because everything that you do or not do is an action. The average thinker will do more of the workout, because to them, working out, right, burning calories or doing whatever, exerting a force, yes, that's an action. But guess what? Also, putting times in the calendar, right? Blocking times for whatever appointments you have with yourself, with your family, setting reminders, that's massive action. Controlling your time like a hawk to the minute, that's massive action. Working out for 2 hours, that's not massive action.
Massive action is actually just every single thing that you do
gets accounted for.
Yeah, but I'm gonna throw out a disclaimer real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I also would be disservicing you all if I didn't say that you have to work up to that.
Yes.
You cannot immediately just go doing everything and expect that you're going to follow through with it for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Because that is what you may have already tried to do.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to start Whole30 on Monday. Monday's always the best day. I'm going to make sure that I go grocery shopping. I get rid of all the things that are not Whole30. I'm going to meal prep for the entire week. I'm going to make sure I pack all my lunches. I'm going to make sure I hit the gym first thing in the morning. I'm going to make sure I got all my water. I'm going to make sure I get to bed on time. I'm going to make sure And then after 3 days, you're like, this shit sucks. Because you're not used to it. So we are massive action takers, but we did not start out taking all of the action we are currently taking. And now it doesn't feel as massive, or the amount of massive just increases, because it can feel like a lot at one time, but as you adapt and get used to it, you're capable of more. We're actually coming out with something really amazing that is going to help people work through this. But look, you can't get to 10x without getting to 2x. There's no way. Mm-hmm. You can't get to 5x without getting to 3x. It requires steps. And I appreciate and am so happy to see that all of you want to take massive action. For one, you have to determine, what does massive action mean to you? What is that? What does that even mean? What would be considered massive? Because to each of us, there's varying degrees.
I think the misunderstanding starts there, because people, the way that mainstream media teaches about massive action with regards to this industry is skewed. And that's why the success rate in this industry is so low.
We teach ourselves too. We teach ourselves, because if we do, let's say, keto, or we count our macros, right? And we do the MyFitnessPal and stuff like that. We teach ourselves. We get results. And we teach ourselves that that works. Do you know how many times I have heard, oh, I tried keto and that worked for a while, or fill in the blank. I tried blank and that worked really well for me. Meanwhile, your goal is to lose 50 pounds. How did that work well for you if your goal right now is to lose 50 pounds? It did not work for you.
Right.
It didn't. You got some kind of temporary result, but if that's not what you were looking for, then it didn't work.
Right.
So I don't know how many times I hear that. I was doing, anything that you say that worked well for you, but it's not current, you're not where you want to be, didn't work well for you. So we have to define what does massive action mean to me? Mm-hmm. Just me. Without comparing myself to what anybody else is doing. I don't know how long they've been on their journey. I don't know what their story is. I don't know what adversities they've been through or not. I have to say for myself, what is massive action to me? And how do I take step one? Mm-hmm. Because massive action is important and necessary if you want to be great. Who wants to be great? Nobody wants to be, I can't say, I guess I can't speak for anybody else. I don't want to be average. And as far as I know, average in this country of America, the United States, the not so United States currently of America, the average is going down.
Yeah. The
average is getting worse. I don't want to be average. If you're getting worse, you're dying. If you're not improving, if you're not growing, if you're not stepping forward, you're dying.
Mm-hmm. So, like what you said is perfect, and it's 100% right. And this is going to tie into the third A. Like when you start your threshold with regards to how much you can actually tolerate, and when I say tolerate, I mean for a long span of time.
Forever,
I don't mean for 1 day or 1 week. I mean moving forward, and like that's it, end the story. Right? Like your threshold is different. I want to give a huge shout out to somebody like who's been a perfect example of the kind of person who keeps on increasing their level of action. It might not seem like much on a day-to-day basis, but over the last couple of weeks and within the next months and year, that kind of thing is going to compound big time. And that's Andrea Ramos. This morning, she sent me a message with her daily totals from last week. We're literally measuring everything to a T, right? And now we're starting to measure more things and getting more specific and moving targets. And literally, this is how progress happens. It's not about perfection. It's not about going from no action, 0 to 100% action, right? Because you won't be able to sustain it. Like an amateur doesn't become an expert in 1 day, right? Just like when you start your entry-level job, right? Like you don't become a CEO in a day. What makes you think that you're going to be able to handle everything? However, in this industry, right? When you feel ready to change because you're in so much pain, you're like, I want it all and I want it all now. Well, here's the thing. Like, just because you want it doesn't mean that you can sustain it. Because there is the physical and the behavioral, and I don't care how motivated you are. Like I said, you can't rely on motivation because motivation is not something, you become motivated. Motivation is something that you earn. It's not just like being stuck to you.
You create it.
Yeah.
You create it. Motivation is not something that we just have at all times.
It's a skill.
Obviously.
It's a skill that has to be earned. Ask anybody who's trained for over 5 years. I would consider that somebody who's done it for a long period of time. Right? Ask them if they ever had days where they don't feel like showing up, and they'll tell you it happens to me at least once a week. But they're motivated individuals. So they're not wasting half a day thinking, oh, am I going to go work out today? Am I not? I don't feel like working out. No, they mastered the skill of getting themselves to work out when they don't feel like it. It's all skills, right, that we have to develop. It's like mental skills, mental hacks that lead us to take action, right? It's all mental because here's the thing. You have to decide before you act.
You have to commit.
Yeah, you have to commit.
So, hey, side question. Actually,
What?
side request from you guys. We are going to start putting little clips of these episodes on our Instagram, but you have to remind Sarit to stay close to me because Instagram is a square and this is long. And if I get closer, she travels away. So you have to remind her to stay close to me so we can get these things on Instagram for you guys in little clips. Aight? You feel me?
Okay, thanks for sharing that.
Great.
Okay, so do you have anything else to add with regards to action?
Take mo.
Yeah.
Take more when you're ready to take more. If you try to take on too much too soon, you will go back.
Yeah.
Backwards.
You have to earn taking more.
Yeah.
Right? Just like you have to earn a promotion. It's not just given to you, right? You got a promotion because you performed in a certain way. Right? So here's the thing. The reason why most people are not massive action takers is because that ties into the third A. They're using the wrong approach. The approach of 0 to 100. And that's anybody who has an all or nothing personality. I'm a perfectionist, all of that. No, like your approach has just been faulty, has been skewed the whole time. So what you need to make sure in order for you to build yourself up to taking massive levels of action is following the right approach. And that is the biggest reason why most people either get stuck or find themselves in a yo-yo trail.
A yo-yo trail? Like somebody dropped yo-yos along the road?
No, like just yo-yo, like their journey is like a yo-yo, or they got to a certain point and they've been stuck for like months or years. That's because they're not using the right approach. Right? Something that Erin said is that if you're not growing, you're dying. Here's the thing about weight loss, you guys. It's not about the weight that you lose, it's about who you become in the process. Right? Sustainable weight loss, a sustainable transformation of any kind, okay, requires you to become. Okay? So you need to follow an approach that will make you a better person, that will teach you the actions to make you better, so that you can be more for yourself, so that you can generate more energy to generate more action, and so that you can be more for others. And the right approach has nothing to do with going to MyFitnessPal and counting your calories, or going to My Macros app and counting your macros. No, these are just distractions. That's stupid.
Your approach is not a diet.
Right.
Your approach doesn't fit into a box.
Right.
Your approach is not paleo. Your approach is not low carb. Your approach is whatever you need that fits your lifestyle, your preferences, your schedule, your family. And that doesn't fit into a box.
Your approach requires you to develop habits that will help you to focus on one action, one step at a time. And it doesn't seem like much, and that's most people's problems. They're like, wait, just one? I can do more. Yeah, it's not about you being able to do more now. It's about you being able to do the same action that you did now 100 days from now. Do that.
100 days in a row. 100 days in a row. Ask yourself, is this something I could do 100 days in a row? If the answer is yes, do it. If the answer is no, don't.
And as simple as it becomes, trust me, like your discipline will be tested, right? But in order to build habits, you have to build discipline. And just because you're good at going to the gym does not mean that you're disciplined.
I want to add on to the last statement that I made, because it was very black and white, and there's a lot of gray in there. But not everything you have to do for 100 days, right? So if it's not something that is a lifestyle habit, right? If it's not something that you want to make into a habit for the rest of your life, don't try to use it as an approach or an action. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
You got to build yourself up to that, right? So the needle, the reality is that the needle always keeps moving forward, right? And that's why if you only focus on the scale or the measurements, again, you're being distracted, because for when you take whichever approach consistently enough, at some point in time, whether it's 5 months from now or 5 years from now, right? For some people, it can take years. Just telling you the truth. It's definitely not going to take you 5 days or 5 weeks. Okay? But at some point in time, you are going to reach your ideal body weight. Then what? And that is why most people derail. Because they don't focus on who they're becoming. They focus on what this down there is telling them.
The scale.
And the scale tells you nothing about all of the accomplishments that you've made.
Or when you start to feel good about yourself and the way that you're looking and whatnot, you start to let go and you start to relax and you start to make exceptions and justifications that you weren't making in order to get to where you were. But if you're not changing from the inside and becoming the person you need to become, who is the person that sustains the results that you're working towards, you will never sustain the results that you're working towards, because you have not become the person who can sustain the results. You're faking it. And you could say fake it till you make it, but if you don't eventually make it real, you will never make it.
Yeah.
So you have to become mentally the person who is the one that sustains the results. Who is that person? What do they do? What time do they go to bed? What do they watch on TV? What do they eat regularly? What are their habits?
Who do they hang around with?
Yep.
What boundaries do they put for themselves?
Yep.
Right? These are the things that are not talked about. Everybody in society is just telling you macros, don't eat gluten, don't eat dairy.
Man, it breaks my heart when even several of you in this room, I know, I've had conversations on the telephone with most of you. And I will say, one of the things that breaks my heart the most is when somebody has a coach. For one, you've invested in yourself. Congratulations. You absolutely should use a coach. When you're trying to do something that you don't know how to do or that you've struggled to do, that is what coaches are for, right? So you have gotten a coach. This coach knows maybe one approach, one methodology that probably was told to them that they learned, and they probably even struggle with themselves, if we're being honest. And they will say, okay, you're going to eat X number of calories and this many grams of this and this many grams of that, and, cut out the sugar or dairy or whatever. And then, oh, you're not losing weight on 1,500 calories? Maybe let's try 1,300. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Metabolism crash.
Oh, 1,300's not working? Let's try 1,000.
Oh shit.
I'm like fuming, like smoke out the ears.
En route to autoimmune disease. Beep,
yeah, beep. And then, I have PCOS, and I have Hashimoto's, and I have hypothyroid. Oh, that is Hashimoto's.
So now I'm going to go to an autoimmune specialist who is going to tell me to eat 1,300 calories a day because my metabolism is low.
No, medication.
And I'm gonna put you on medication. I'm gonna load you up with toxins that are going to now fuck up my liver too. So not only is my thyroid messed up, but now, okay, the liver is getting into the mix. Oh, okay, my liver is getting into the mix, and I'm told to not eat anything. So I kind of want to eat everything, and then I start developing this thing called insulin resistance.
Now you have diabetes.
Now you have diabetes. Oh shit, okay.
How do you get diabetes eating 1,300 calories a day? You weigh 250.
Now I'm taking 5 different sets of medications. Oh shit, I don't know what to do about that. Man, my insulin resistance just got worse. So turns out I'm pre-hypertensive. So now my doctor told me to start taking hypertensive medication.
The spiral continues.
Like, this is literally where 99% of the country is at.
And we're all confused and frustrated by the fact that we are trying to do what we think we know we can, right? You believe you can, that's why you keep trying. But because there's just this mess of things going on and hormones involved and confusion because you don't understand, I'm going to give you the golden ticket right now. The one thing that will fix literally everything. Everything. There's 2 parts. Eat more vegetables, eat them often.
And join our webinar next Tuesday.
There's 3. Seriously.
Tammy, can you drop the link for the webinar, please?
Vegetables are like, people are like, you know, we know, oh, eat our
Peppers
veggies.
and tomatoes have carbs.
Hold on. We don't understand. We're like, yeah, veggies are good. We always hear veggies are good. Everybody hears veggies are good. How good? Good enough to fix all that shit we just talked about.
Yep.
As long as you focus on being consistent. When you eat so low, we always get off topic and I love it. When you eat so low, of course you're going to crave shit. Your body is deprived. So then you eat the shit and then you store it because your body hasn't had enough food. So you give it and it's going to keep anything that you give it, including the brownie and the ice cream and the popcorn. And then you don't eat again the next day or for however long until you can't take it anymore. And then the cycle just continues. And it's so frustrating when people are like, you know, just telling you to focus on the wrong things. Breaks my heart.
So here's the thing. I also want to tell you the truth. In order for you to get on the right approach, that requires some sacrifice.
It's true, but it doesn't have to feel grandiose or overwhelming.
No, and hold on. Listen to the sacrifice that I'm about to make. It requires sacrifice of you investing the 3 resources that you have to invest. And it's called investing your time, right? Learning, educating yourself, getting through the process, immersing yourself in it, right? Investing your energy, right? That goes back to action. You don't invest your energy, you're not taking any action, right? Like eating more vegetables sounds really good on paper, but man, it's so much harder than it actually is.
Especially if you're not used to it.
Right.
And 3?
And 3, it's money, right? Investing your money in what works and in what matters to you. The best things in life are not free. They're not.
Yeah, and I mean, there are incredible things in life that don't cost money, right? This relationship, I could say, doesn't cost any money. But in order for us...
It cost me money?
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
In order for us to have met where we did, when we did, which we didn't know we would, we both were in a different state, literally different state within the U.S. than where we lived. She lived in Jersey, I lived in Portland, Oregon. We met in Miami. It costs us money to get to the event that we went to. No matter what, all the resources must be used if you want the greatest of the greatest.
Yep. And all of the resources want to be used if you want to take more action.
And let's think about this too. no matter what, being healthy, being fit, being who you want to be costs money. You got to buy food. Sometimes like supplements that are going to help you along the way. Coaches are a huge one. Are they an absolute necessity for some people? I would argue, yes, absolutely. I would say
for anybody who is seeking growth, yes.
Anybody who's seeking growth, seeking to be better in a way that they've struggled to be better before. Mm-hmm. A coach, right? Even if it's a sport. If it's a sport, guess what? You want to be better at basketball? Get a fucking coach to teach you how to be better at basketball. That's why there's coaches
for sports teams.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? Like when you're in the real world, like, okay. When I was a kid, when I was in high school, I had coaches. I had a lot of coaches, and I am so grateful for them. I didn't pay for them. I didn't know coaches had to be paid for. But I found out that my parents paid for them. My parents paid for me to be on the basketball team, on the soccer team, on the track team.
And here's the thing about coaches, you guys. The better the coach, the more expensive it is.
Yep.
But you have to think about it as an investment. Not as I'm spending my money. You spending your money on medication, that's you wasting it.
If you don't need it. If you don't have a thyroid, you need medication. Like if it's gone.
Right. However, most people will say, I need it. Yeah, you need it because your situation is that bad. So if you invest on the right things, eventually you won't. Right? Because here's the thing. When you're invested in all three resources, you're so much more likely to take massive action.
True. You burn the ships. Burn the ships. There's no way out. There is no plan B. I've gone all in. I'm investing my time, my money, my energy into this thing, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So, there was another thing that I was thinking about money too. Oh, debt. I went into debt. I spent money I did not have, which people do all the time for shit that doesn't move them forward, like cars and shoes and sunglasses and stupid shit. Stupid things that don't get them to move forward. If it doesn't move you forward in life, it's spending. If it moves you forward in life, in the future, it's investing. And any kind of investing is worth going into debt for as long as you are committed to it. Mm-hmm.
Our mentor, because yes, we have mentors too.
We have several.
And we pay thousands of dollars on a weekly basis because the more you pay, the better the coach is. That's just a fact. So here's the thing. Our mentor tells us, invest in yourself until your life changes and then invest more. And investing in yourself is the only way to change your life.
You'll notice too, the more you invest, the more you are able to invest. And I'm not even just talking about monetary.
Right. The more you invest time in yourself, the more energy you generate. So the more you can invest in your family. Right? It's a cycle. It has to be generated from within, but it requires sacrifice. The more you sacrifice, the more you get in return. Right? However, most people are taking the wrong approach, right? They spend their money on medication and they say that,
wrong actions.
Right. And instead of investing in themselves, they spend their money away. Right? So that is an approach. Investing in yourself is taking the right approach.
It's action. That's action.
Yeah.
So we went from the second A
to the
third A to investing and coaching and bad coaches and bad advice, and we talked about a lot of things.
Yeah, man.
That's okay.
I'm fired up right now. I'm upset for people because I want to fight for people, but I can I can only fight for you so much. You need to own your own fight. You need to fucking fight for yourself. Every day is a battlefield. It's up to you to own your shit and do whatever it takes.
We are leading the horses to the water, but the horses have to drink the water.
Yep.
But you're here. You're drinking.
We hope you keep on drinking for the rest of the day.
Keep drinking. Oh wait.
Okay, so here's the thing. Like, if you think that what we talked about today is good, like what we're gonna share with you on the webinar is like 100 times better. Okay. And by the way, seats are limited. So if you're dilly-dallying, right, and you got the wrong attitude because you're like, I'll wait for tomorrow.
I got sidetracked.
Guess what? Remember, check yourself with the 3 A's. We want to teach you the right approach in more detail. All you gotta do is take the action of clicking in the link, improveyousolutions.com/webinar, right? Click the link so that you can learn the right approach, so that you can hang on to it and change your life. Right? 3 A's. You gotta have a good attitude. Don't fucking wait. Waiting for tomorrow, waiting for next year, that's a shitty ass attitude. Because the only thing that's guaranteed is now.
I have to let you in on a secret. Because it's not fair. I want the fucking action takers in this room need to have their seat in the webinar. Look, we are going to be over capacity. So at that point, it's going to be a matter of who shows up first.
Yeah.
We're actually already over capacity.
Yep.
We don't even care. Guess what? You still have to register to show up, and if you show up first, you gonna get in.
Yep. It's gonna be a matter of who has the best attitude. The people with the best attitude are gonna be let in.
Who cares more? That's really what it comes. Who's more committed?
Yep. So remember, check yourself. Snoozing is losing.
Alarm set. I love it.
Good.
Get in early.
So, like, I would recommend, like, for all of you, like, massive action takers, set an alarm to get in there 15 minutes ahead of time.
Y'all can sit next to me. Thank you, Lauren, for posting that link.
Thanks, Mama.
I'm tired of waiting for tomorrow.
Don't wait.
No more.
Being on time is being late. If you're going to try to get into the room on time, chances are is that we're going to be overcapacitated. Is that how you say it?
Overcapacitated?
I don't know.
Amazing.
I make up words. When you're a foreigner, you make up words. But
we
guess
all
what?
know what
I think
mean.
you understood what I meant.
Yeah, we all know what
And
you
that's the beauty of it.
We all know what you mean. Okie dokie. Well, on that note.
On that note, look, if there's anybody who would find use from listening to this video, do us a favor and please share it with them. If you're watching this on YouTube and you haven't yet subscribed, you have to do us a favor and subscribe, because like this is the real deal. Like, I don't want to brag, but look, you guys, we're teaching you everything from 0 to 100 that it took us for us to understand, implement, and become, in order to help you do that too.
And also, I want 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we're going to get there. It's only a matter of time.
We're just 98 away.
Because guess what? Consistency is key. We got to be consistent. Who else in this industry is doing a show 5 days a week?
Name them. There's the end of the list.
Nobody, right? So like right now we're small, but like look, and this is not to brag, but like 5 years from now, everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, like, do you see these girls, they suddenly popped up into the
out of nowhere. You guys are the foundation.
Uh-huh.
I mean, there's people who even go way back, like original, like real OGs of the OGs, when there were 4 people on this live.
People like Donna Baldwin, who saw me fight every single day last year for Miss Health and Fitness. Only now are people talking about it, and people
a year
are like,
later.
oh man, what did you do?
A year later.
Right. Like, dude, it was such a freaking fight. Every day is a fight, and every day is a fight for you too. You gotta fucking show up though. What?
I'm trying to see if there's any like wicked OGs.
Yeah, Donna.
Here. Right. Any other ones? We already said Donna.
I don't think so.
Like way back.
Most of you guys are from like.
A lot of them are in the They're all exclusive. Cool. Well, on that that note, you guys are absolutely amazing and incredible, and we do thank you for being part of the beginnings. Guess what? It's always the beginning.
It's always the beginning.
Because we're just getting warmed up. Always.
By the way, tomorrow is interview day, and we have an incredible guest. Okay, we have another Olympic athlete. You guys know we love to interview the best of the best. Why? Because you don't become the best by accident. So if you want to become the best, then you better show up tomorrow. Interviews are at 6 a.m. Okay, so we'll post a link later on today. Make sure to join us tomorrow for an amazing interview. We're going to dive very deep. Other than that, we have a webinar coming up, okay? If you snooze, you lose. Everybody who is in the room right now should already be registered if you haven't done so already. Also, as you guys know, we're all about spreading the love. So if you're like, you know what, like, I have my aunt and my mom and my best friend and my puppy, just kidding.
Your puppy can come.
Who would benefit from this too? Because seats are limited, we would much rather help you guys first, right? So what I would recommend that you do is grab the link, copy and paste it, and say, don't ask, just do. You need to reserve your seat today.
Sergeant will be there.
Yeah. Share it with them. Good things are meant to be shared. We don't do this every day, and we've been working on this webinar all month long.
Burning the candle.
Yeah.
At both ends.
For you guys. For you guys and for your family members and for your communities, because we understand that by sharing the love, we're going to make a bigger impact. It's all about the impact.
And there's something epic that we're going to share.
And there's also something really funny that Erin's going to show you. Like,
oh my God.
Dude, like,
stop.
It's so incredible and like halfway embarrassing. Like, I think we're all going to stay on that slide for probably like 10 minutes because everybody's going to laugh their ass off. You guys, like, maybe you just want to show up for the shits and giggles.
Great.
We're going to show you our lowest of lows.
Oh yeah, you're going to see the shits.
Like, lowest of lows, we were so distracted by how poisoned we were back then that we didn't even realize like how bad
my mom sent me a photo of me in high school, and I'm like, holy shit, why didn't anybody tell me? Anyways.
But the point is to inspire you, because if we can, so can you. You just have to follow the same steps that we did, and we're going to teach you the steps. So show up, improveyousolutions.com/webinar. Looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow's interview. In the meantime, drink up for the rest of the day. Make that your challenge. Happy Thursday.
Bye.